Alright guys, I hope this works. I just have you guys sitting in the kitchen cabinet. Literally every room in my house right now is a mess just because of everything that's been going on, and I just got home from work, so I figured I would do a quick kind of vlog style-ish. As you can probably kind of hear, I'm still getting over my cold, but I'm feeling a whole lot better. I'm just sounding weird still, even though I'm feeling pretty good. My nose is still a little bit runny and stuffy, and I don't know, but yeah, feeling better. So as for what's been happening, after that video that I posted, when did I post that? Saturday, right? So the line got really dark, but darker on the first response and stuff. So on Sunday I tested again, and I tested and it was like there, but it was lighter. I want to say probably almost about the same darkness, lightness, whatever you want to call it, as Friday, which kind of had me worried a little bit. Still does really. And then I tested again yesterday, aka Monday, and Matt was at work, so it was just me, and I had, I don't know, I think I had 2 first responses left, so I must have used both of them in that day. So what I've been doing is because my pee is all over the place in regards to diluted or not diluted or long hold, short hold. So I found with OPKs, my second morning urine, or even just after an hour hold, was usually darker than what it was in the morning. So I guess I tried the first morning urine, because obviously everybody always says that first morning urine is supposed to be the most concentrated. Which makes sense, because it's I don't know, for me at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours a hold, which I don't get during the day because I drink too much and then I pee too much. So I used that because the wand fall looked pretty dark. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'll pee, and I have 6 different mason jars out right now, and I'll pee in my main cup and check how diluted it is or whatever, and I'll put it in a mason jar and use that one to test, and it's kind of first morning urine, second morning urine, then maybe on an hour hold after that or whatever. And then I'll see how dark the wand falls look, and whichever urine I think was the darkest on the wand fall is the one I'll use for first response. Sounds crazy, but I'd rather use up a couple of wand falls every day than a couple first response every day. So anyway, I used, I think, first morning urine for a first response yesterday, and there was no line. It was even lighter than Friday. And my pee wasn't even that diluted. It was yellow, almost really dark. So that's kind of why I figured I would use it, and I did, and there was barely a line. I'll try to cut it in a way so I can insert the pictures. I don't know if I'll have time for it because this house is a mess and I need to clean up. So yeah, that literally that, you know, that mini heart attack you get when you think you lost your wallet or something like that, that's what happened. And so I was freaking out, still am really. And so I had 1 first response left, so what I did is I used second morning urine with a couple wand falls and stuff. And anything after that first morning urine got darker again. I want to say probably third morning urine-ish on an hour hold seems to have been the darkest. As of right now, I think if I test anywhere from between 9 and 11 a.m., which sounds horrible, but that's when I get the darkest lines so far, which still aren't very dark. I want to say Saturdays is still the darkest that I had so far. But I do want to say that with the first response that I used yesterday, at least after I used the third morning urine, it ended up being at least as dark as Sundays again. So at least it didn't get any lighter than that. So no more first responses in the house. I used a couple Wanfos this morning, and same thing again, they freaked me out because there was like barely a line there with first morning urine, and then when I used like my third or fourth morning urine or whatever it was, just on a couple minute hold, it was around the same darkness as always. Now, I know that my last video already has like over 1,000 views, which thanks guys, like I love you all. I also just noticed, like I just realized this, I made it over 500 subscribers. I am planning to do a giveaway, so let me know what you think I should do about that. Anyway, so since there's a lot of you guys watching, I do want to ask for your opinion for those of you that have been pregnant before, or know that has someone, or have heard stories or whatever. Obviously I'm freaking out because with my last pregnancy, I could take pregnancy tests daily and I would get darker lines, and a day after my BFP, line wise, I got a digi to turn positive. So far all my digis have said negative. I don't know, so that's kind of what's been going on test wise. So anyway, then Monday after that little freak out, obviously after the line was like not even there, I was like a bawling, crying, sobbing mess. I really was. So I texted Matt, obviously I sent him the picture, and obviously he got upset, but like I needed to talk to somebody, and obviously it's his child too. So he ended up coming home because he didn't want me to be alone, and I had my doctor's appointment, to which I really didn't want to go anymore to at that point, because I'm like, that baby is not gonna stay. Like the lines aren't getting darker, if anything they're getting lighter, which is not a good sign. So anyway, so he came home, he picked me up, we got ready, and obviously we felt better after we seen that the Wanfos still had decent lines, like they didn't get lighter. And I got the first response to kind of look almost the same as Sunday, so that kind of eased our minds a little bit more. So we went to the doctor anyway, and she has a new nurse who I really don't like. I don't know, she's just weird and not friendly at all. She didn't introduce herself or anything. I don't know, it was just weird. Luckily we don't have to deal with her much. So then my doctor came in, and she had like the biggest smile on her face. She was like, oh guys, like it's been so long since I've seen you, like last time was with your miscarriage. And so she went like she put everything in the computer again, like what I do for work, what Matt does for work, and all that stuff. Well, what I've been taking in regards to this pregnancy, and like all of that stuff, what we did to conceive. And then she said, like, obviously I'm pregnant because I went for the blood work Saturday, and I asked her if she could let me know my levels, and then she was like, yeah, well, just a second. So she finished up typing stuff up. She's like, well, you must have caught it really early, because on Saturday my levels were 8. Which is ridiculous. Like, if you think about it, I had decent lines on Friday already. Like, there was no lines Thursday, even though some of you thought you saw something on the Wanfo. I personally didn't. Now that you guys said it, I feel like I do, but at that time I didn't. So Friday was my BFP day, and Saturday when I went around like 11 or 12 or whatever for my blood work, my levels were 8. Sorry, husband. So yeah, that is like crazy. So to me right now, there's just two ways this can go, really, right? Like if my levels were 8 on Saturday, that must mean the Wanfo and the first response are like insanely sensitive. 3, I literally must have been like 7 DPO when I got my BFP, because that would mean that I ovulated when I usually ovulate, which is cycle day 20, 21, and I got my BFP cycle day 28. That gives me 7 days to implant and stuff, which is just another crazy thing. So for right now, I have been freaking myself out a lot, and obviously, like you guys know, I'm worried. We're all worried, and seeing lines not get darker doesn't help. Like I said, it's like an emotional roller coaster right now, because like, yes, we're pregnant, but are we gonna stay pregnant? Is this pregnancy gonna go full term? Are we gonna be in the same boat again? Is it gonna leave even earlier? Is it gonna be a chemical? Like, there's so many things right now that are like going through our heads. But the story that I'm going with for right now, until we know more, is that with our angel baby, I got darker lines every day and it didn't end well. So with this one taking longer to get darker, to me just means that baby is implanting properly. It's taking its time. It's like literally like just like, I don't know, like when you go into bed and you take forever to like lay down and get your blanket comfy and stuff. That's what I'm imagining is happening inside of me right now, and I'm hoping that's what it is. Obviously there's like my doctor said too, there's a 50-50 chance right now for baby making it, just because my levels were so low. I did go for blood work right now. I just took the bandage off. But my doctor's not in again until Friday. I have another doctor's appointment scheduled for Monday. So she will try her best to remember to call me on Friday to tell me how the levels were today. But other than that, I'll hear or see her on Monday, which is like torture. But what I wanted to say is like, hearing this story, I hope that some of you guys maybe know or have had this happen too, where your lines didn't get darker like quite as quick. Sorry. I've heard of a couple people now where like even their blood levels weren't even doubling for a long time, and people kept telling them they were gonna have miscarriages, and they ended up delivering like full-term healthy babies or are pregnant like somewhere later on right now. So that gives me a little bit of hope. I've been doing some Googling obviously too, because that kind of eases your mind usually if you find the good stuff. And yes, it's not unheard of that some women have lines that don't get darker, maybe even a little bit like lighter depending on what time of day, how emotional, like how much stress, like all of this stuff. So like I said, I'm just praying that that's what it is, and obviously we pray that this pregnancy stays. Not just because obviously we want this baby more than anything else, but just because of the day that we got our BFP. Like we would always be so, like this day, April 15th, would get even more depressing knowing that it was the due date of our angel. We got our BFP, which also ended in a miscarriage. Also in a way, it would not, I don't want to say ruin Christmas, but obviously like April 15th is like a daunting day now. And now it's gonna be like Christmas Eve because that would be my due date right now. Which I think it would change just a little bit if I did really ovulate that late, which I think it would probably be closer to New Year's. But as of right now, according to my last monthly period, my due date will be Christmas Eve. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something else, but I just wanted to throw this on here to let you guys know what's happening. And that's kind of what's happening. So if you guys can send some prayers and some thoughts our way and for our little baby to grow, and if you have any insight on lines not getting darker and still being okay, let me know. Other than that, like I said, I'm not bleeding, so to me right now I'm pregnant. I still see lines on tests, so I am pregnant. And that's all that matters right now, because I don't know how much longer this is gonna last, and I kind of want to enjoy it in a way. Obviously I want to be prepared too for the worst to happen, but I'm done obsessing about it right now because it's not good for a little baby either. So yeah, just taking it day by day right now, and hopefully I don't start bleeding. Also, I have blood work like 4 more times, 3 days apart, and in 2 weeks we'll schedule, or 4 in 2 weeks, if that made any sense. We'll have our first ultrasound too for viability. Hopefully we'll get to that point in order to do that, and then she would probably do 1-2 weeks after that, just to ease our minds through the time when our last miscarriage happened. So we have one in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and then 12 weeks. So we'd be like every 2 weeks have an ultrasound, which is great. I love her for doing that for us. So yeah, just pray for us and pray for the little baby, that everything works out and stays as it's supposed to, and that we get to carry this baby full term. So thank you guys all for watching this and for supporting us, and hopefully all of you will join our journey through this again and be there for us. I hope you guys are all doing well too, and I'll think of something for that giveaway. So I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye guys.